Welcome everybody, my name is Michael. I am today eating a burrito, a rice, cheese, and bean burrito from Taco Bell because this $1.29, well with tax probably $1.39, cent burrito was free. There's a Taco Bell right behind my place of employment and there was a reward, so I used it. I didn't have lunch. I couldn't bring lunch today, so I'm happy with what I got. I got it for free. And driving through one of the richest, wealthiest, very affluent neighborhoods around here, and also coming from one of the most affluent neighborhoods in the region here for this upper part of the state. Being so broke over the past couple of years absolutely sucks. I mean, it's just, there's never any money. It was always paycheck to paycheck, negative paycheck to negative, always loans. These past couple of years have been brutal. I lost my money when I was 19 years old. Not that I had a lot in the first place, but for a 19-year-old, I struck it big for a couple of months, and then I lost it, and here I am, 26 and a half years old, and 7 years later, we're past the 341 meeting, chapter 7, and it went positively, and that's, it's one of the only pieces of positive news. There's so many things to be grateful about, but when we're taking a look financially, that's one of the few things that I can really say has been successful recently. Everything else has been, just one bad thing after another. But now it's just a waiting game. You have to wait 60 days after the 341 meeting. And I think we have, how many more days? 55? So it's a little bit of a waiting game, but it's like we're in the home stretch here. We've been waiting for this for 7 years. I mean, honestly, at this point, it should be falling off my credit report. But here's why it's not. Here's why really it would still be there for the next couple of years. I come from a good neighborhood, yes, and there were multi-millionaires living on the lake shore, but we were middle class. You got the poor side of the good neighborhood, and you got the amazingly rich side of the neighborhood. And it was a good school and all that. And fortunately, I don't necessarily live in that neighborhood anymore. It's unincorporated now. But when I was a kid, I lived in a great neighborhood, and I loved it. I had a lot of great friends, and they always motivated me because you would have families, generational wealth, where great-grandma moved here with grandpa, and they built a business, and they passed it down to their kids, and the kids would pass it down to the next generation. And you would have sometimes very powerful people, CEOs, C-level executives. Sometimes the firms were sold, and you'd have startups and all crazy amounts of wealth. In middle school, elementary school, I still remember to this day, this was when the McLaren MP4 12-C, that was, right now it's an old car. What's that? It's still a very cool car. But I remember when that thing first came out, roughly, and it was insane. There was some grandpa that dropped his kid or grandchild off to the elementary school in the McLaren. Now, that was not a daily occurrence, certainly. I mean, but every now and then you will see a cool Ferrari or Lamborghini or Bentley. Today I saw a Rolls Royce, and I work very close to the neighborhood I grew up in, and it's a very nice Audi store now, and you got the traditional Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, all of this stuff, and it's very motivational. That's where I want to be. Unfortunately, for the past 7 years, I've been drowning in debt. And the average person that I sold cars to, the average person that I spoke with, was in a much better situation than I was, because not only It doesn't even matter if they were making less than I was or if they were making the same as me. Most of these people weren't making more. Some were, and, they were very well off. But sometimes I'd have clients that were making a lot less than me, and it's not even about how much money you were making. It's about how much you're saving. Well, you can't really save if you have bad credit, because if you have bad credit, even if you don't take out any loans at 30+%, they still punish you. You get penalized. You cannot find a normal apartment. No, you have to search around and eventually find overpriced apartments, because those are the only ones that will be willing to take a risk on you. And then your car insurance is higher because of your credit score. Yes, I live in a state, in most states, whether it's for car insurance or home insurance or really any insurance, your insurance premiums will go up a lot, because you are deemed a higher risk due to your credit score. And then don't even get me started if you actually are in an emergency. And oh boy, there were certainly times where we had medical emergencies, whether it was my teeth, which I had to spend thousands of dollars on and on payment plans. And eventually I did get dental insurance and health insurance and all this. But not every company provides a good dental or health insurance plan. And especially right now, when you change a job, sometimes the first couple months you don't have anything. So the first year in America, when I moved back, I had no insurance. And it did not ultimately pay off, because I got an ear infection that cost me over $1,000. I had to do my teeth, which cost me, again, thousands of dollars. I had a root canal because, of course, right as I moved back, that's when everything got inflamed. I got sick. Well, not only the first job I had, I didn't have PTO when I got sick. I didn't have sick time. I didn't have PTO. I didn't have anything that first year. Now, Illinois has introduced that you need 1 week, whether it's sick time or PTO. But there was countless amount of times where I lost money after I already lost my cryptocurrency money and all this, and was negative and in debt and living paycheck to paycheck. And whether I was sick, whether something happened, oh no, a tire popped in my car. Well, I need my car for getting to work. Public transit is just not an option around here. There's so many different small little things that add up. Well, okay, you have bad credit. Now you have to take out a personal loan because it's an emergency. You need $500, not a huge amount, but you need $500 because your tire popped, and then this happened and that, and suddenly $500 turns into $1,000 because no one was willing to give you a $500 loan at 5% or 10%. No, you got the $500, but it was at predatory rates at 35%. Well, try paying that off. This is kind of cute. Look at this. A little bunny there, or rabbit, I don't know what that is, was eating the leaves. Look at that. That's kind of cute. Oh yeah, springtime. Well, it's actually summertime. This looks like springtime with all these beautiful flowers here. So I went from having a position of money for literally only a couple months to then being broke for probably the next decade. And the reason it wasn't like, oh, okay, 7 years and everything drops off. First off, I took out loans to be able to just survive in both Poland, where I was at the time, and America. And the problem was, when I came to America, certain things were only reported a year, 2, 3 after I lost my money. So you had different collections where they were occurring at a time frame where, okay, if it occurred the very day I lost my money, maybe I'd have 3, 4 years less than it really was. And sometimes things would renew, and there we go, the timer starts over again. So you had these really unpleasant situations where even at this point, I'd still be waiting a couple years for certain things to fall off. I'm just so glad that I got out of Chapter 13, because Chapter 13, in my opinion, is a scam if you don't have property. If you do not have property, there's 0 point for you to go into a Chapter 13, because they gave me a $750 payment. And I got very upset because I had a 100% payment plan. I understand, yes, they aren't allowed to put interest in for tax purposes and whatnot. It does help in some regards, but you also have trustee fees and other attorney fees where all of that accessed in, it just didn't make sense. If you're on a 100% pay plan and you don't have any assets, you don't have any money, you were just stuck. You were stuck in this unfortunate scenario. So I read that someone had a $750 payment, except they had 5 times more debt than I did. And they were in a much better position where they had property, they had money, they had assets. The problem is, I was a sucker and I didn't know how to hide my stuff. And they had a 20% payment plan. $750 for them was nothing because they had, very nice cars and a house and a lot of money hidden away. I was broke, dead broke. Couldn't even afford to pay the lawyer. I was just smiling and woohoo, golly, that's it. Got nothing on me, maybe 2 cents. I came to America with nothing. I came back to America with nothing. When I went to Poland, I went with nothing. I mean, just brutal planning. And all of this really stems from, I did not get my degree, and now I will get my degree. I'm finally getting closer and closer to the day I will graduate my college, and I will get a university degree. That's right, folks. And at this point, it won't mean a lot because the job market sucks anyways. So gonna have to probably get a master's degree for it to actually mean anything. But, probably got it many years too late. I mean, just a lot of mistakes, one after another. Hundreds of mistakes led me to this point. But anyways, enough rambling. I just wanted to say, in probably 2 months, we are going to have to surrender this car, maybe even sooner. And that was a big problem where I love this car. Runs on regular fuel. That's nice. It's got good gas mileage. It's not really an expensive car to maintain. Not that I can afford it. I'm sorry. Can't even afford, replacing the brakes or rotors or just an oil change. Or the wipers definitely need to go. The problem is I just couldn't afford anything, any proper maintenance for anything. Whether it's, my computer would break or my phone would break. I had a phone that still is broken, can't afford to send it off. So it's going to be an actual reset. It's going to give me some breathing space where the Chapter 13 didn't. And maybe now I'll just get a beater like I did before. And I mean, it's not ideal either because beaters break like mine did before. I had many beaters and they sucked and there was stuff to repair. I don't know, but it is going to be a reset and I hope I don't make many more mistakes. And we'll see how that goes, my friends. I will try and save now because I might actually be able to save a little bit. Not a lot, but even $50 to $100 per month does add up after a while. And I won't have debt collectors hounding me anymore. But this has been brutal. Absolutely brutal. And I wish I respected money when I was 19, but you make money quick and you lose money quick. And that's why when I see all these YouTubers gambling now and doing crazy things, like literally just straight up gambling hundreds of thousands of dollars, that makes me cringe because, oh wow. And they're playing with way more money than I ever had. But I just wish I could go back in time and undo what I did. But here we are. So learn from my mistakes because I'm turning 27 and I'm still young, but I could have been younger when I learned these life lessons and I, it is what it is. Can't change the past, right? Just spit everywhere. All right. Thanks for watching. That's embarrassing. Have a good one.